Hey y'all, we're gonna go ahead and make some beef stew with dumplings. I got 2.5 pounds of stew meat, or you can take a roast and cut them up into little pieces. You're gonna need 1/2 cup of flour that we're gonna toss around with our meat. You're gonna need some salt and pepper. We're gonna do 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper and 1 teaspoon of salt, and this is 1/2 teaspoon measure. And let's toss the flour around with our beef cubes. Y'all, so I have 3 tablespoons of olive oil here in my pot, and here's all my meat coated. We're going to turn our heat on. We're going to brown our beef up, and then we're going to add some beef stock and some water. Y'all, so I got my meat and the rest of the flour all in here. We're going to go ahead and brown this up for just a little bit. Y'all, so once your meat is all brown, you're going to take a carton of 32 ounces of beef stock, and we're going to put it in here with our meat. And we're going to add in 4 cups of water. That's 2. Another 2. Now you're going to want 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of beef bouillon, and this is 1/2 teaspoon measure. And let's stir that around. So you're going to need 1 cup of celery. You're going to need 2 medium onions, which I have here, 4 cups of potatoes, and 1.5 cups of sliced up carrots. And we're going to throw that into our pot too. All right, we're going to stir this up. Now we're going to let this cook for 1.5 hours. So once it comes up to a boil, we're going to time it for 1.5 hours, then we're going to turn it down on like a medium to a simmer. Alright y'all, so it came up to a boil. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add in 2 bay leaves, 1/2 cup of red wine or cooking wine. We're going to add in 2 tablespoons of parsley. We're going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Add 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. And 1/2 teaspoons of rosemary. And then we're going to add in some thyme, and we are going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. Let's stir this up, and we're going to add a little bit of pepper. Add 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and we're going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now my stock, I use no salt, so you'll have to determine your salt if you want to add more salt or not. Okay, so since it's coming up to a boil, now you're going to time it for the 1.5 hours. And then we're going to get our dumplings made up, and then we'll drop them in. Alright y'all, we're going to go ahead and make the dumplings. So here in my bowl, I have 1.5 cups of flour. And to this, we're going to add in 4 tablespoons of room temperature butter. And we're going to go ahead and take our butter and work it in with our flour. If you don't want to use butter, you can use shortening, and 4 tablespoons of shortening. So you got some little crumbs in there. So now you're going to need 3/4 teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of sage, 1/4 teaspoon of thyme. You're going to need 2 teaspoons of baking powder, And this is a 1/2 teaspoon measure. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix this up just a bit. And then we're going to add 3/4 cup of milk. And that's all for the dumplings. Okay. Alright. And we're going to go ahead and mix this together. That's what it looks like. So we're going to get ready to drop them into our stew. Alright, y'all, I'm going to show you what this looks like here. So give that a stir. And we are going to go ahead and we're going to bring this back up to a rolling boil. And then we're going to drop in our dumplings. I'm just going to take mine, roll them in little balls, and I'm going to plop them in there. And then we're going to make sure that we cook them for about 10 to about 15 minutes to make sure that they are all done. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not going to bore you, and I'm going to roll these around and get them in here. Also, I got them all in there and used all my dough up. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on it in about 10 to 15 minutes, and it will all be done. Alright, y'all, it's all done. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some out so you can see what it looks like. There you go. And it thickened up and a lot of little dumplings in there. But give this a try. If anybody has any comments, questions, or concern, don't hesitate to reach out. Please like and share. Remember to follow us on YouTube or follow us on Facebook. Family cookbooks will be listed above and below in the comments if you want to get yourself a copy of that. So I hope everybody has a great day.